Bonjour, de Mutuelle, the French top-up health insurance. France is renowned to have good public health care. So what is this extra health insurance for? Let's see what it is, why you may need one, how to choose it, and what does it cover. What is a Mutuelle, the French top-up health insurance? The Mutuelle complements the reimbursement done by the French public health care called assurance maladie. In many countries, private and public healthcare systems are totally separate. In France, let's say that they are combined. The assurance maladie sets the basic fees for every single health treatment and reimburses a portion of it, often 70 or 80% when it is reimbursed. Many doctors charge the basic fees, which is 25 euros for GP, for example, but other doctors can choose to charge more. The top-up insurance will cover the remaining amount between the 70% of the basic fee of the 25 euros, for example, and the price that you have paid. This reimbursement can be done either fully or partially. I will also make another video to explain the assurance maladie system into more details. You will find it up there. Why take a medical top-up insurance in France? Well, first, the idea of taking insurance is obviously to reduce costs if something happens. The top-up insurance is to reduce the healthcare remaining cost. You may want to have one depending on your daily medical needs, but also in case of unexpected health issues, like hospitalization, for example. Note that some healthcare treatments are not reimbursed by the assurance maladie, such as dental implant, some vaccines and medicines, alternative medicines, and also, in general, the dental, optical and hearing treatment are not well reimbursed by the French public healthcare. Is it compulsory to have top-up insurance? Well, it is compulsory to have medical insurance, either with the assurance maladie or with the private one if you do not meet the criteria to be covered by the French public healthcare. But the top-up insurance is not always compulsory. Let me explain. Supplementary insurance is compulsory for the employees of the private sector. Your employer has the legal obligation to take top-up insurance for all its employees via a collective contract since 2016 and to pay a minimum of 50% of the premium. On the other side, you have the obligation to take the insurance offered by your employer unless you already have one via your spouse, for example. Having access to a collective insurance contract can sometimes be better since the premiums are negotiated and often lower than the individual contracts. However, the additional health cover is not compulsory for other workers like self-employed or freelancers. But many people choose to take one to cover unexpected health problems, but this is really a personal decision to make here. But if you decide to take an insurance, how to choose it? The first thing to do is to consider your needs and also not to hesitate to compare offers to find a supplementary health insurance that best suits you. This can be a bit tricky to compare all the offers since the way they explain it is a bit complicated. You will find percentage of reimbursement like 100, 150, 200% of reimbursement, but just keep in mind that all those percentages represent a percentage of the initial flat rate decided by the assurance maladie. So if we go back to the GP example that charges 25 euro as a flat rate, if you are reimbursed up to 100% of the flat rate, that means that you will be reimbursed 70% by the assurance maladie and the rest up to 25 euros by your insurance. So if you choose to go to a doctor that charges more than this flat rate, the remaining amount will be for you. There are a few things that you need to take into account when choosing your mutuelle. First, your health situation and your age, then your current medical care and the ones to come. For it, it can help to take into account your medical history and your family history also. Then your family situation, do you have family members that need to be covered? Also your budget, of course, and then your habits. Do you use alternative medicine or do you often go to see doctors that charge more than the social security flat rate? Then what does top-up insurance cover? Usually, the Mutuelle covers the remaining cost, fully or partially again, of general medicine, specialized medicine, hospitalization, most of the medicines, medical exams, and personal care services. However, the coverage level will vary a lot depending on insurance companies and the level of coverage you've chosen. The higher your premium is, the higher your reimbursements will be. On the other side, the lower your premiums are, the lower the reimbursement will be too. That's how insurance works all around the world, right? So the important is to figure out and anticipate your needs depending on the criteria I've listed before. You may not need an expensive coverage that reimburses well prescription glasses, for example, if you have a perfect vision, right? When you take top-up insurance, watch out the waiting periods, le délai de carence in French. This is the period when you start paying the insurance premium but are not covered yet. This waiting period varies from one contract to another. This is important to anticipate the change of insurance when you have expected health costs to come. One good thing to know, you can change top-up insurance every year on the anniversary date of your contract. You should receive a letter from your insurance company letting you know when your contract will be automatically renewed, and you can end the contract up to 2 weeks before the contract is due. Your cancellation letter should be sent by recorded mail. Also, it's recommended to have found an alternative insurance before you end your initial contract, and moving away is one of the motives accepted to end your contract before the anniversary date. I hope this video helped you understand better the French medical top-up insurance system. If it did, you can like the video to encourage me and subscribe to my channel for more expat dedicated content. Merci et à bientôt!